They said an American manufacturer couldn't build a supercar. For 73 years, Corvette has been proving them wrong. The '53 Roadster that almost failed, the Ghost Vette that survived in '83, we're looking beneath the paint. Every evolution of the Corvette. I'm Tess, and this is the complete C1 to C8 marathon. Let's ride. The C1 Corvette was introduced in 1953 at the GM Motorama event and was produced until 1962. It marked America's entry into the sports car market. The first year, 1953, you could have any color you wanted, as long as it was Polo White with a sportsman red interior. No outside door handles, no roll-up windows. For the first 3 years, if it rained, you got wet. Fiberglass body tech borrowed from radar housings. The very first 1953 Corvette came with a 235 Blue Flame inline 6. 150 horses using triple Carter carbs. 0 to 60 took around 11 seconds. 1955. It was the year the V8 saved the Corvette. Without that 265 small block, we wouldn't be talking about the C8 today. Fiberglass molding was still new, quality varied car to car. Often needed rework to fit panels. Those first 300 are some of the most collectible today. If you want more of me, subscribe, it's free. Did you know the 1963 Corvette was the only year with a split rear window, making it unique? 1963 split window Corvette was the first to feature an independent rear suspension, contributing to its performance and handling. Up front, its headlights were now hidden, the first American car equipped as such since the 1942 DeSoto. I see you like my shirt, get yours in the link below. Don't you think that is just sexy? 1968 C3, you are moving into the Shark era. This was a year of high-stakes transition. It was the first year of the C3, and it was messy. Forget the digital displays. This is about the hiss of the vacuum-operated wiper door and the pop-up headlights that might only open one eye at a time. It's the smell of a hot 427 big block that makes you feel like you're in a fighter jet cockpit. It's a car you don't just drive, you manage. The Soul, the first year of the Coke bottle body. Patterned after the Mako Shark 2, it was the most aggressive shape on the road in 1968. The Vacuum Nightmare. Hidden wipers and headlights were all vacuum operated, leading to the infamous vacuum leaks that define the '68 experience. Long before LEDs, the '68 used actual light-conducting tubes on the console to tell you if your exterior bulbs were working. Pure 1960s genius. In 1968, Hot Wheels released their custom Corvette before GM unveiled the real car. It was one of the biggest leaks in automotive history. The '68 had no glove box, just map pockets. It was a design choice that proved the car was built for driving, not for storage. I notice you have been staring at these numbers. If you know what they mean, we can be good friends. If you see something you like, leave a comment. '1983 is the black hole in Corvette history, the only year since 1953 that 0 cars were sold to the public. GM ordered all 43 cars to be crushed to hide the evidence of a failed launch. Quality control was so bad in late '82 that GM issued a literal death warrant for the entire 1983 fleet. They wanted every trace of the '83 Pilot series turned into scrap metal. The 1983 launch was killed by a last-minute engineering nightmare, the Targa roof. Removing the central T-bar weakened the frame so much that the car literally buckled under its own weight. One white Corvette survived the crusher because a plant manager didn't want to ruin his new $200 cowboy boots. It was raining so hard that he left the car in the lot to deal with it later. For years, VIN number 23 sat under a dirty tarp in a back corner of the Bowling Green plant. It was a Ghost Vette that technically didn't exist, hiding in plain sight from the corporate shredder. When a new plant manager finally pulled back that tarp, he realized he was looking at the rarest car on Earth. The car that wasn't suddenly became the crown jewel of the Corvette Museum. This Survivor is uniquely 83, sporting a Polo White exterior and a medium blue interior that never made it to the 1984 production line. It's a color combination that is frozen in a year that never was. In 2014, the 83 Vette cheated death again when a massive sinkhole swallowed 8 legendary Corvettes. The white ghost stopped just inches from the edge. It refused to be buried. Today, VIN 23 is the only 1983 Corvette in existence, making it the most valuable C4 ever built. It's proof that sometimes a mechanical failure becomes a legend if it just refuses to die. Tell Tess what's on your mind. Shirt link is below. Love ya! The digital revolution. Why the C4 Corvette was 20 years ahead of its time. Technological bombshell. Rather than just an old plastic car. In 1984, the C4 dropped the analog needles for a liquid crystal display that looked like it belonged in a Star Trek shuttle. It was the highest tech interior. The C4 interior wasn't designed for comfort. It was wrapped around the driver like a tactical cockpit. Every switch was angled toward you, making every drive feel like a mission at 150 miles per hour. The C4 handled so well that the SCCA literally banned it from showroom stock racing. It beat the world's best so badly. The massive clamshell hood that opens the entire front end. It was the largest single piece of automotive plastic ever made, giving techs total access. You don't sit, you fall in, over a massive structural frame rail. Those deep door sills are the secret to its rigid chassis, but they require strategy just to enter and exit. 1993 introduced passive keyless entry, the first of its kind. The car would literally sense your presence and unlock the doors as you walked up. Pure 90s magic. It was the first car to use directional tires, Goodyear Gator backs, designed specifically for the chassis. You couldn't even rotate them from side to side. If you know what my shirt means, get yours in the link below. You know what to do. The C5 was a corporate angel project that almost never happened. Secret design by engineers who refused to let the Corvette die in the late 90s. Corvette to use a hydroformed box frame, making it 400% stiffer than the C4. This high-tech steel backbone turned the Vette into a world-class handling machine. Meet the LS1, the all-aluminum V8 that changed everything. It was lighter, more powerful, and more fuel-efficient than anything that came before it, spawning a whole generation of engine swaps. The perfect 50-50 weight balance, C5 engineers moved the transmission to the rear of the car. This transaxle layout turned the Corvette into a mid-engine fighting track car, one of the first cars to offer a fighter jet-style head-up display. It projected your speed and RPMs directly onto the windshield, so you never had to take your eyes off the track. Believe it or not, every C5 Corvette has a floor made of balsa wood sandwiched between composite layers. It's the perfect material for high stiffness and extreme weight reduction. For the first time since 1962, the C5 convertible actually had a trunk. It was finally a supercar you could actually live with, fitting 2 sets of golf clubs without breaking a sweat. In 2001, the Z06 name returned as a track-focused monster with the LS6 engine. It was lighter, stiffer, and faster than the legendary C4 ZR1, all for a fraction of the price. Despite its 350 horsepower, the C5 manual could pull nearly 30 mpg on the highway. I have a C5 auto convertible, and I get 25, almost 200,000 miles. This was the last generation of Corvette to feature the iconic up-hop headlights. When 2004 ended, so did a 41-year tradition of hidden lamps on the American blacktop. Subscribe, like and comment, cool links below, and tell me about your hot rides. Yeah, love ya. In 2005, the C6 opened its eyes. For the first time since 1962, pop-up headlights were retired for fixed discharge lamps designed for 200 miles per hour airflow. The C6 is actually 5 inches shorter than the C5, but it has a longer wheelbase. Engineers trimmed the fat to make it a tighter, more agile athlete on the track. Meet the LS3, the heart of the later C6 models, a 6.2 that delivered 430 horsepower right out of the box, making it the most powerful base Corvette to date. ZR1, Blue Devil, the first factory Corvette to break the 200 miles per hour. supercharged LS9 produced 638 horsepower, enough to embarrass supercars. The Z06 brought racing tech to the street, an all-aluminum frame and an LS7 engine. It was the largest small block ever put in a production car, built for pure torque. Every line was sculpted in a wind tunnel to reduce lift. From the fender flares to the integrated rear spoiler, built to stay glued to the asphalt at triple-digit speeds. Magnetic selective ride control, a suspension so fast it adjusts to the road every millisecond. It's the same tech Ferrari eventually licensed because GM got it right first. The C6 Grand Sport was the sweet spot. It combined the wide-body looks of the Z06 with the reliability of the LS3, creating the ultimate track weapon. The C6 marks the final chapter of the classic Corvette interior layout. It was the end of the traditional dual cockpit design before the C7 moved into the ultra-modern fighter jet digital age. I would like to know what you have. Tell Tess. My shirt designs in the links below. In 2014, Chevrolet did the unthinkable. They brought back the Stingray name. It was a signal to the world that the C7 wasn't just an update, it was a rebirth of a legend. Debuting the LT1, a 6.2-liter engine with direct injection and variable valve timing. It's 460 horsepower of pure high-tech American muscle. Every C7 Stingray features an all-aluminum frame that is 57% stiffer and 99 pounds lighter than the steel frame of the C6. It's the stiffest foundation in Corvette history. The interior was designed to wrap around the driver, a magnesium frame seat, and a customizable digital cluster. It finally matched the world's best supercars on the inside. To keep the center of gravity low, every C7 comes standard with a carbon fiber hood and a removable carbon fiber roof panel. Light, strong, and built for the track. The C7 was one of the last supercars to offer a 7-speed manual transmission with active rev match. It's the ultimate connection between the driver and the machine. The Z06 is a monster. A supercharged LT4 engine is 650 horsepower, the most powerful production car GM had ever built at the time. With 13 cooling heat exchangers, the C7 was designed to take the heat of a 24-hour race. Refuses to tap out under pressure. ZR1 is the final front engine. With 755 horsepower and a high wing, it can hit 212 with speed that still haunts the competition today. This marks the end of an era, the last Corvette front engine, a final loudest tribute that defined American speed for 66 years. I know you like fast and sexy. Why not have both? My tees are in the link below. Check them out for fun. The C8 is the fulfillment of a 60-year-old dream. Zora Duntov knew in 1960 that to beat the world's best, the engine is behind the driver. By moving the LT2 V8 to the middle, Chevrolet achieved a nearly perfect weight distribution. It gave the Corvette the traction of a mountain lion. Standard Stingrays with the Z51 package blast from 0 to 60 in just 2.9 seconds. That's supercar performance for a fraction of the exotic price tag. There is no manual. The 8-speed dual-clutch transmission shifts in less than 100 milliseconds. It's faster and more precise than any human. The interior features the infamous wall of buttons, a driver-centric spine that separates the cockpit. It's a fighter jet layout that puts every control in your fingertips. Even with the engine, it still fits 2 sets of golf bags. The trunk up front and a trunk in the back make it the most practical supercar on the planet. The 2024 E-Ray introduced Electri-High all-wheel drive to the Corvette lineage. It's the quickest accelerating Corvette in history, hitting 60 miles per hour in a blistering 2.5 seconds. By 2025, the ZR1 returned with twin turbos and a staggering 1,064 horsepower, an American hypercar that hunts Bugattis. Z06 features the LT6, the most powerful naturally aspirated V8 in production history. 8,600 RPM redline, more like a Ferrari F1 car than a Chevy. The newest King ZR1X, a hybrid boost system to reach 1,250 horsepower. It does the quarter mile in under 9 seconds, a feat that was science fiction in '53. I'll see you on my channel! Get my Relic Cool tee design. Link below.